Cubs fan fantasy stream season thing. I'm Spencer. Whoops. Thank you for joining us once again. I'm going to adjust the camera because I never know what I'm doing. Oh. Oh. Maybe that's better. Oh, Spencer. That's a little better. Yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster of a season for the Cubs thus far. They won 6 in a row, lost 4 in a row, won 3 in a row, lost 1, won 1. Now it's the Game 3, the rubber match against the Cardinals for the first series against their division rivals at Wrigley Field. It's Jack Flaherty versus Kyle Hendricks. Battle of pretty much aces. Jack Flaherty was maybe the best pitcher in the league the last half of last season. Was really fantastic. He's a guy that's a possible Cy Young contender this year. Kyle Hendricks, the professor. Not only do they call him that because he looks like a nerd, but he has a degree, I believe, in economics or mathematics or something from Dartmouth. So, nerd. But in a good way, because I love him. He's one of my favorite pitchers. He finished 3rd in the Cy Young in 2016. Always, knock on wood, he almost always keeps your team in the game. Ooh, what jerseys should we go with here? If anyone has any thoughts on it. I mean, obviously we won't do road stuff since it's home. But I liked the alternate home 1922. Home 1929. Do I have to earn? Is that a thing where I'm going to have to earn the regular, the bunch of different jerseys? Okay, anyway. We'll just go with regular home jerseys. And, yeah, like I said, Kyle Hendricks with a 2.08 ERA, which that's not absurd for him. His lifetime ERA is low mid-threes, I believe. He almost finished with a sub-2 ERA that year. He finished 3rd in the Cy Young. I think he should have gotten at least 2nd in the Cy Young. I think he should have went over Lester at least, if nothing at all. Max Scherzer won that year. Max Scherzer that year also gave up more home runs than any other pitcher, but he still won the Cy Young. So whatever. It's fine, I guess. I don't approve of it, but no one ever asked me. Anthony Rizzo. Okay, yeah, we're gonna start all of the main starters this game, I think. Anthony Rizzo looks a little tired, but he's just at first base. We can have the next series. Perhaps we'll have Caratini subbing for him. Wilson, we gave a day off the other day. Let's put him back in the old cleanup spot. Schwarber's got to start hitting. I mean, Schwarber hit 2 home runs last night. It says he's cold. It said he is or else they're calling him a snowflake and that he cannot take a joke. I'm not sure what all the game implies, but yeah, here we go, and away we go. Whoops, excuse me. Anthony Rizzo looks a little sluggish. You know what? Let's give Caratini a start then. Because last time I didn't pay attention when the game said that. It just I let Wilson Contreras stay in, and he didn't do amazingly well. He did okay, but not great. He struck out, and he didn't look good at the plate. So we'll do this instead. In fact, here we go. We'll even put Schwarber's leadoff, Bryant in the 2-hole, Contreras in the 3-hole. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Deal with it. Yeah, Dan Winkler has 7 saves. He's leading the league, apparently, in saves. Don't even know who he is. I didn't believe he was real. But apparently, he is maybe going to be on the Cubs bullpen. He was one of the few. I don't remember him last year. I think in the game, even, Craig Kimbrell is not the de facto closer in the game, which I'm sure he's very mad about in real life. The stream's going okay, I think. Last couple games ago when I started the stream, because I didn't see the camera feed until I start the stream. I'm sure there would be a way for me to preview it, but I just didn't do it. But when I started a few games ago, I had a booger hanging from my nose, and it was very embarrassing. And I had to run and blow my nose. But here comes Kyle Hendricks, the professor. He is 2 starts, 1-0 with a 2.0 ERA. A whip right around 1, which is pretty darn good. Only 6 strikeouts through 13 innings, but he's never been a big strikeout guy. He's more pitches to weak contact, which is fine. They make comparisons to Greg Maddux, which is, a pretty big compliment considering Greg Maddux is one of the best pitchers to ever pick up a baseball. He has a lot of late break. He pitches to weak contact. We're going to make sure the computer is on here. But I didn't. So here goes. I never even realized that was a thing pitchers would do. Is pitch to weak. I used to think they were just supposed to try and strike people out. A lot of pitchers pitch to weak contact. You better not be a Wong donger to start the game. I don't want him hitting it. Any dongers that get hit, I hope are by the Cubs today. But Kyle Hendricks pitches to weak contact, which Greg Maddux used to talk about. The strikeouts would come, but he would pitch for late break on the ball to try and hit the bat in a bad place of the bat to make have ground balls and little pop-ups happen. And there we go, 1 out. 3 pitches, 1 out. I like that. Let's keep doing this. Old Kyle Hendricks. Here's Tommy Edman. Utility guy who strike 1. Edman's 2 for 6. Pretty good. Small sample size, but decent. But he was a bench guy who I think got more playing time towards the end of the year last year, and since he can play a couple positions, there's a good chance he will play a lot this year, if there is a baseball season this year. Hey, the umpires, Rusty Valentine, doesn't sound like a real name. I like that they didn't keep the umpire's name up, all of them up long enough to actually read them, because people don't care. Ooh, hits it. But nicely picked up by Nico Warner, who I subbed in for Jason Kipnis. I don't know if Kipnis would have got there because he's a little older, a little longer in the tooth, if you will. Paul Goldschmidt, perennial all-star, is up now. Although his speed, last time when I was talking about how he doesn't have very good speed anymore, he hit a 3-run home run to make the game really close. So I should probably not talk about that. But it is true. He used to be. And he's still a good player, but his numbers, now that he's on the wrong side of 30, have started to fall a little bit. But he's still real good. He still hits for a decent average and hits 30-some home runs. It's just he doesn't steal 20 bases anymore, and he probably never will. You're probably looking at 5 to 10, maybe, now. But we'll see. It'll be interesting if they play the games and if all the games get played in Arizona, there's going to be a couple players that are going to hit 50 home runs. Actually, I shouldn't say that because there will only be 100 games, maybe. I don't know how many games there will be. I should say that their pace over a 162-game period would be over 50 home runs because Arizona's going to get... Arizona and Florida, both hot places. Oof. Although, I will say, in Arizona they have Chase Field that they can play at, which has a humidor, which is supposed to calm the ball down a little bit. Oh, a pop-up to Contreras, and he's under it. And that's the end of the top of the first. They go in 1-2-3 order. 1-2-3 coming up for Cubs, coincidentally. Schwarber, Bryant, and Contreras. You guys enjoy that? I think I'm getting way better at this. From a purely announcing standpoint, I think I'm getting better. I tend to talk to my friends a lot. I've been doing that less since I started doing Twitch. I'm trying to figure out how to get less lag. But we'll see. Here goes K. Schwarbs is up. He's average, not great, but he's got 5 dongers on the year. Like I said, rest in peace, Deadspin, or the Deadspin staff who always would say called home runs dongers. It was always a delight. It was always fun to go through news sites, seeing like swiping through news, and you'd see something about someone hitting a donger. That was always fun. Oof, Schwarber knocks one off. Well, there it is. My forehead is shiny sometimes.
Nope.
All right, takes it low, 2-1.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Kyle Schwarber. Jack Flaherty. Jake Flaherty. Yeah, I think it's Jack. Oh, should have been strike 3. Looked like strike 3 to me, but I'm not complaining. I'll take all the. I was gonna say I'll take all the balls I can get from Jack Flaherty. Oof! Into the I don't know. They apparently didn't have the shift going. Usually with Schwarber, there's a shift, I think, but that didn't. Yeah, they didn't have a shift going. If they had the shift going, that would have resulted in an out, probably. I'm interested. I can't figure out why the game sometimes does and doesn't, because a lot of teams have been doing that against Schwarber and Rizzo, and they do in real life too. But once or twice they haven't been, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if they're going up. Perhaps they're going off of statistics from the actual in-game season of where they're hitting it. That'd be kind of neat and interesting, but I don't know.
Nope. Ball 1.
Flaherty's not getting that high, I guess, inside this time. It was outside with Schwarber since he was a left-handed hitter. But not getting that call on the corners, which could be a benefit for the Cubs for sure.
Too high.
That one is also too high. 2-0 count to Bryant here. I'm guessing he'll sit fastball and maybe try and crank it if so. Otherwise, I don't know. But if you just walk well, I guess he gave up a hit. But, I think it was 3. Was it 3-2? It was at least 2-2. But anyway, here we go. 2-2.
I got 2-1.
Or 2-1. 2-0. I thought he forgot there. I'm not paying enough attention to the one thing I'm doing. It's hard to do everything at once, to talk about it and then try and pay attention and then try and be entertaining, and then I'm going to talk to someone else later. 2-2 after he fouls it off. Here comes pitch number 10. Or pitch number 11, as it were. Ooh, Bryant makes contact, but it's gonna... it's dropped! Can Schwarber get to second in time? Just barely. I don't know if they're going to give it a base hit or an error. It looked like he was going to catch it. It didn't look like he was sprinting in there, but then he dove for it and missed it. And so anytime you dive for it and miss it, you usually get it called a hit. So I'm assuming it'll be called a hit. Because when you dive, it's not expected of you to get a hit. Or to catch it necessarily. So probably not an error.
Ball 1.
Ball 1 on Wilson Contreras. Some early trouble brewing for Flaherty, which is good because you would want to get to him before he starts to get his stuff together, because when his stuff's together, it's real good. 2-0 on Wilson Contreras. Arguably been the hottest hitter for the Cubs. He's batting just under 350 with 5 home runs for the season. He has 3 of those home runs, I think, have come in the last 5 games, including a multi-home run day. So, yeah, he's been batting fairly well. Oof. He helped out Flaherty on that one. He's getting a little greedy, I think. That can happen when you're just... All right, nice eye. That can happen when you're knocking everything out of the park. I think it's very easy to get overconfident. But we'll see. The 3-2. What's in the cup today? I have 3. I have too many. I drink too much, and quite literally, in that this is coffee mixed with fudge. Strike. Oh yeah, that was strike there. And this is water. And this is Mountain Dew. So I have 3 different drinks. None of them are alcohol, surprisingly enough. Drive to Ian Happ. The switch hitter. He's got more power from the left-hand side. Whoa!
No balls, 2 strikes.
2 strikes on Ian Happ. So after letting the first 2 runners on base, Jack Flaherty is looking to try and get out of the jam. The somewhat self-inflicted 1-2 to Ian Happ. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like an off-speed pitch outside maybe again. I'm not sure. Nope.
I got to count 2 and 2.
Literally all the opposite. A 98-mile-per-hour fastball, 2 inside. Thank you, Roxy. Yeah, I might have a beer when I talk to Brian, which, by the way, 3-2 count, which our guest today is going to be Brian Johannesson a little later. A very good Iowa City musician, one of my favorite local musicians. He was in the band The Grand he fronted the band The Grand Tetons, which was one of my other favorite local groups. Ball 4. The bases are now juiced for Jason Hayward, I believe. Yeah. So Jason Hayward has the bases loaded with 1 out. The numbers looking real good this year. 969, nice. With a 304 batting average. Not as funny as 69, but still good because it's over 300. Let's see if we can increase all of those. The only sad part about a home run would be that his OPS would go above 969. But maybe a home run would push it to 1069? I don't know. I don't know if it could push it a whole... Ooh! Wow, Hayward put a jolt into that one, but it wasn't fair. Like life, that ball wasn't fair. Mountain Dew.
1 ball.
1-2. Count. Hopefully, like I said, the Cubs can score some runs here. 2-2. Regardless, Flaherty's 27 pitches into the first inning. I like that. It would be I was gonna say not tragedy. It'd be bad if the Cubs don't score here, but getting the starting pitcher to close to 30 pitches in the first inning is good. 3-2. So, and Javier Baez is on deck. So it's a 3-2 count. We'll see what happens here. The payoff pitch with the bases loaded with 1 out to Jason Hayward. Strike 3 on the corner. It was a very good pitch. Jason Hayward's not happy about it. Strikes out looking. If there's one person who probably won't strike out looking, it's Javier Baez, because if he strikes out, it's probably because he's swinging at a ball that's 5 feet in front of the plate. As he takes an extremely good pitch. Yeah, his number's not looking great. I haven't been batting him. I haven't protected him. Maybe it's my fault that I haven't been putting him in a good part of the lineup. But maybe he needs to start hitting if he wants to be batting somewhere in the top 5 hitters. If he got a grand slam here, that certainly would help his case. But popping it up doesn't. Wow, Flaherty gets out of it with no runs scored. That's 7 with 4, 7. Yeah, 7 batters come up, yet no runs get scored. But I think around 30 pitches thrown. So, silver lining on that is let's get to the Cards bullpen early. Yeah. Up next, Matt Carpenter. And away it goes.
Ball knocked outside.
It is a little outside. Ooh, right down the middle. 89-mile-per-hour fastball. And that's part of the reason why I love Hendricks is the control. Oh, and the shift has it right at Baez. That's real frustrating. I understand why people get upset about the shift with the hitters. I'm not saying it's... I think it's great. I like the shift. I think hitters need to start to learn how to adjust. If they're going to give you a whole left side of the field to hit to, start going with the ball. Worry more about contact than just knocking the poop out of the ball. Dexter Fowler, he's good. I like Dexter Fowler. Like I said, there's no reason not to love Dexter Fowler forever as a Cubs fan. He helped win a World Series. We haven't had once again, the shift right into it. Yeah, there's no reason to not just love Dexter Fowler forever. He was the last true leadoff guy we've had. That's been one of the Cubs' Achilles' heels since 2016, is having a consistent leadoff man who can get on base. They tried it with Schwarber some. That was a good pitch, but called the ball. They tried it with Schwarber some. Didn't really work. Anthony Rizzo actually worked really well there, but they just don't do. They just, I don't know. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. I understand both sides of it. His on-base percentage is real good, so but also he's got power and an okay average. So if he had more speed, then he'd be perfect for a leadoff man. Oof, ripped down the line. But unfortunately, he's not quite as spry as he was now that he's 30. Wow, Hendricks out of the inning. Tyler O'Neill. Although I think after last time when Tyler O'Neill faced Tyler Chatwood, it was the battle of whoever lost couldn't call themselves Tyler anymore. So I'll just call him O'Neill. Up next, Caratini, Horner, and Hendricks. 7-8-9. Victor Caratini. A common thread with his name is that even though he's not Italian, I will always say it with an Italian accent. I'm part Italian, so it can't be offensive to Italians, but I understand if you're offended as a Puerto Rican because he's Puerto Rican. So saying an Italian or a Puerto Rican name with an Italian accent. It's interesting. I'm interested to know more about Puerto Rico's history because a lot of Italian names and Puerto Rican names, a lot of them sound very similar to me. There's a decent amount of like Giovanni's, I believe, or like I think Giancarlo Stanton, Giovanni Soto. I think I could be wrong, but I think they're both from Puerto Rico as well. But those sound very similar to Italian names, so it's interesting to me. Three and one to Victor Caratini. Swings, he kind of golf swinged at that one. Payoff pitch to Victor Caratini. Makes contact, staying in there. What a great at-bat. Whenever Victor Caratini comes up, I always talk about how underrated he is. And then he'll probably strike out here. But, or he'll take a walk because he's a very disciplined hitter. I think on most teams, he would be the starting catcher. I hope that he gets some playing time. More playing time. Although he got a decent amount last year when Contreras got hurt. But I hope, even just now, to rest Rizzo, now that he's getting a little older, if his back's ever acting up. Let Caratini be the first baseman every now and then. Yeah. He's defensively sound. Strike one to Horner. I think he won some sort of batting title in AAA like 4 years ago, where he batted over 300. Caratini, not Horner. Horner completely skipped AAA last year. He was the draft, one of the first or second round draft picks for the Cubs like two years ago maybe. So he didn't even get a chance to play AAA before Javier Baez got hurt and they brought him up. And he did pretty okay. For a guy that has completely skipped a level of Major League Baseball to go from AA straight into a playoff race, which, well, it slowly became a playoff collapse, not so much race by the end of the season. But Kyle Hendricks is up. I'm assuming he's going to bunt the runners over. Gosh, I hope that's what he's going to do. Okay, good. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Nico Horner. So he might be the starting second baseman this year. They might also start him in AAA. Now with the shortened season, though, it's makes it more likely that they might start him right away. Okay, bunt is down. Are they going to try and get two? They get one, but not two. That's kind of a compromise where no one's really happy there. I mean, it could have went better. It could have went worse for both sides. I'm surprised that they got him out at second. It would have been nice to have runners at second and third. Ooh, it's going to drop. If it drops, it's foul, and it scores a run. Kyle Schwarber gets a bloop single. He said, yeah, I barely hit that ball. But we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. So now there are runners at first and second, with one out, and with Chris Bryant up, yes. Oh, Chris Bryant hits it hard, but it's going to be caught, maybe? Yes. Poop. He did hit it hard, and the pitcher was then able to advance because it's the pitcher, and he lands at 23 speed. But only 2 outs, Wilson Contreras is up. And let's keep in mind that Flaherty is close to throwing 50 pitches only being through the second inning. That's a lot of pitches for a second. I keep getting Italian. It just kind of, yeah. That's a lot of pitches for only 2 innings, huh? Yeah. All right, good eye. Just let's get that pitch count up. I'm fine with that. All right, 2-0 to Wilson. With, I believe, Ian Happ on deck. That's another thing I'll start doing is writing down the order, the batting orders that I myself make for at least for the Cubs. I don't mess with the other team's stuff. And then I let it play.
Ball 3.
Ooh, that could have went either way, but it's 3-1 now to Wilson Contreras. Does he have the green light? Most likely, as there are 2 outs. Ball 4! Take your base, Wilson. Bases juiced for Ian Happ. He's actually going to be the representative in MLB The Show's tournament they're having, where I think everyone from a baseball team is being represented and playing in a tournament. So check out Ian Happ's thing. That's what I need to follow. That if he has a Twitch, I don't know if he has a Twitch or if they're just doing it in general, but that's the thing I need to follow. Ian Happ, if you're listening, good luck. I hope you hit a Grand Slam home run right now. That would be nice. Oof. Sorry, Ian, don't even listen to me. I'm sorry that I'm bothering you. You're at work. You're playing. Okay, see, I was quiet for the last pitch. Strike 3! Flaherty, I mean, he's pitched 2 innings. He's only given up 1 run, but has left 6 Cubs on base. The Cubs have left the maximum amount of players they can on base through 2 innings. Because you could only leave three men on base every inning. So, so you could maximum of 27 people left on base, and then over a game, a regulation game. The Cubs are on that pace. Although they're also winning, so they would only do 24, technically. Well, oh, that might be trouble. That's going to be 2 for whoever's running, because they've got 74 speed. It might even be 3. They hold them at 2. Smart. Nico just couldn't get to that. Oh, it's Lane Thomas. Lane! He was a player in the game, I think, 2 games ago when the Cubs... It was a real close game until like the 8th inning, and then the Cardinals scored 7 runs in an inning. Oof. That still is pretty. He didn't get the strike. He didn't get a swing. That was a pretty good pitch. It almost fell into the strike zone.
2-0.
Whereas that one fell out of the strike zone. All right, 2-0. Hendricks shuffles his hat a little, says, "Oh, nuts. Oh, nuts."
3-0.
This happened last time he pitched, where he went 3-0. I think Hendricks is one of those weird anomalies where that literally almost certainly that happened last time too. I need to look it up, but Kyle Hendricks has some crazy stat where he went hundreds of batters without going 3-0. And it might have been, I don't know if he, hold on. It might have been, and even something crazy too where he, not only that, where I don't know if he's 4 straight strikes. Hendricks. I know there was something crazy once a year ago where he... We'll see what Fox Sports has to say. If they have this, if they have that as a stat. It looked like it was giving me that, but I don't know. Ooh, down the line, he maybe should have let that go foul, but if he can turn 2, never mind, I'm a big stupid dummy. And that was a good play. Turn 2. Well, now there's 2 outs with 1 man on third base. Yeah, very. I guess that was obviously the good call. I thought it was going to be more risky than it was. See, okay. Oh, it's interesting. You can see what his stats were on a 3-0 count. So I want to almost see if he had a. No, I can't get. Okay. On a 3-0 count, it happened. It doesn't tell me how many times it happened, so that doesn't help me that much. Strike 3. He did walk 14 in 2018. He walked 14 people on 3-0 counts. That doesn't sound right. I could be wrong. Unless they count in 10. I don't know. I don't like that stat. I don't like how I'm being shown the stats. Hey, it's Heidi Watney. Give it up for Heidi. I never can understand what she's saying, so I pretend. You said it, Heidi. Well, Heidi, that's why they call it baseball, right? Oh, as always, a delight, Heidi. A delight. Here comes Jason Hayward up to the plate. You may remember him doing bad. Or he struck out in the first inning. I think with the bases loaded. I don't know if it was to end the inning or just to... Or no, I think someone... might have been. Yeesh. Yeesh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
1-1.
One and one, 2 and 1. Does that sound like Pee Wee Herman at all? All right. Three, two. 3-2 pitch. Or it's what it's about to be. 3-2 lineup. 3-2. Can't do it. 3-2 count. And it's a pop-up. I don't think this one quite has the distance to leave the yard. And I'm right.
The batter, number 9.
Ooh. The Cubs are atop the National League Central, but they sit there with the Cincinnati Reds, and they both atop the table, and they both look at each other strangely, not knowing what to say to the other. All right, Javier Baez, 0 for 1 thus far. Let's make it 1 for 2, shall we? Or keep it 0 for 1 with a walk. That would be fine, too. Ooh, Baez is 1 for 13 against Flaherty with 7 strikeouts. If your strikeout percentage against a pitcher is over 50, you're not good against them. Some would say bad, that's very bad to, strike out that many times. 7 strikeouts in 13.
2 balls, 1 strike.
That's probably like a high 50% strikeout rate. High 50, low 60s. Even with math, I'm just guessing. Oof.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
3-2 with Victor Caratini on deck. And here we go. Oof. It might. Nope. That's going to be caught probably. Well, got a little jammed up there. Popped it up. But Victor Caratini's up, and he walked last time. He had a very good at bat. The sole run thus far. Ooh. Ooh. All right, good eye, good eye. I'm gonna eventually look at what their stats are labeled in this game. Not this game right now or when I'm recording, but some other time. Ooh, that was low and maybe outside. But they call it. Is I'm interested to see for the batters. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. For the batters, it ranks not only contact and power from both the right and the left side. Those are the obvious ones. But they rank discipline, which I assume is like if they're going to swing at bad pitches. And they also rank vision, which I don't know. I would assume those two are linked. Like, wouldn't you think swinging this unless some people with bad discipline know it's a ball and they're going to swing anyway? They seem like they're linked, but I do like that Willens Astudillo has a 99 in vision, but not in discipline because he doesn't walk or strike out a lot. I love baseball anomalies. If you have a chance to look at Willens Astudillo, I always forget if I'm pronouncing his name right, for the Twins. He is a catcher who never strikes out and never walks. He has in thousands of at-bats in the minor leagues, he has a less than a 5% strikeout and walk rate, I think. Which is, like I said, it's an anomaly. If you were to look at a chart of players and strikeout walk rates and XY graphs where they were, he's way away from everybody almost. Ooh, up the middle. Horner picks it up, does a little fling-a-ding. Caratini scoops it up. It got the outs. Or got an out. Nice play by Caratini, since, like I said, he's a catcher, so it's not his primary position. Up is Goldschmidt. Here we go. Ooh, foul ball. Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh, strike 3. It's always good to have old Goldie Schmidt strike out, as he is still got power. This is Tommy Edmond, probably. I don't know who it is. Looks like it. Nope, I might be wrong. I apologize. One ball, one strike. Here comes pitch number 3 of the at-bat. Down in the dirt. Get your mind out of the dirt, and also your balls out of the dirt, Kyle. I should have switched that. I said, get your balls out of the dirt, and also your mind when I'm talking about your balls in the dirt. Ah, it's Carpenter. Thank you, Roxy. Old Matt Carpenter. Hey, Roxy, if I was a carpenter and you were my lady, would you still marry me? Would you be my lady? Wait, I messed up the lyrics, sorry. Oh! But Matt Carpenter strikes out, much like me trying to remember the lyrics to that song. Middle of the 4th, here we go. I have to pee really quick, so I'm going to have, even though he won't be in view, White Moses is going to take over for a second. Also, look, this, I got this at a thrift shop. It's Moses with the tablets, you know, the Ten Commandments. Look how piercing blue this white Moses is. You know how the Israelites were all really white with piercing blue eyes? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna pee really quick. Oh, I was gonna pee, but the Cubs are hitting again. I don't want to miss Cubs hitting. Although, this is Hendricks, I could probably take a pee while Kyle's hitting. If there's any time to go pee, it's when a pitcher is hitting. But with the season doing what they're talking about doing, with the shortened season and possibly playing all games in Arizona and maybe Florida, they might just install the DH. Which is, I understand why, and it makes sense, and it's interesting to do it, especially for a short season. My concern is that 3-2, Hendricks working a good count. My concern is that if they do the DH this year, that they're going to keep it. Because they're already moving in that direction. Oh, boo. I think that was a little high, maybe inside. The players union wants the DHs. Wants the DH. It benefits them in that pitchers don't want to risk getting hurt doing the thing that isn't what they... Oh, God, it wasn't Hendricks. It was Horner. That's why he pitched a good at bat. Or had a good at bat. But not only does it take the bat out of the hands of the pitcher, which a lot of them don't like doing it in the first place, that's going to be a pop-out problem. But also, it helps aging players stay in the game who can hit. Which that's the big reason why I think they like it, is that 34 and 35-year-olds that just can't run anymore, you can just stick them in the DH slot, and they don't have to go run around. I have mixed feelings about that, too, because it's like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Anyway, Kyle Schwarber has the sole RBI of the day thus far, with a, what we'll call, it was a blooper. I couldn't think of any euphemism to call it, because it was just a little pop fly that happened to stay fair enough, and didn't get hit hard enough. And it fell in. And Caratini scored when that happened. 84, pitch 84 coming up. Oh, 3-2 count to Schwarber with Chris Bryant on deck. So it's only the 4th inning, and Flaherty is up to 84 pitches, which, strike 3. Which is a lot, 85 pitches now, but considering he, I think, in the first inning threw 30-some, decent recovery. I have to pee, considering the bases have been loaded twice. Okay, Hendricks is still pitching. It's Heidi Watney. Listen to Heidi Watney.
Leading off for the Cardinals, the right fielder, Dexter Fowler.
Okay. I apologize. I pee too much. But if you did see earlier, I am drinking 3 different drinks.
Outside, that's a ball.
That's my excuse. We're going to bring Brian Johannesson in here soon. In fact, I'll message him. Ooh. Caratini picks it up, says, I'll do this by myself.
Now back, left fielder, Tyler O'Neill.
Tyler, oh yeah, he's just O'Neill. He doesn't get to use that name anymore. Tyler, there is a Tyler Chatwood, but no more that name O'Neill. He's just O'Neill now. Ooh, strike 2. Strike 3 on basically the same pitch. Nicely done, Hendricks. I don't know what strikeout that is of the day,
The center fielder, Lane.
but he's looking good. Take a seat, O'Neill. You're no Paul O'Neill, that's for sure. You guys remember Paul O'Neill? All right. Strike with a fastball. 87. It's funny when people make fun of people that only throw them all at 87, 89, 88 miles per hour. Because, I mean, I played baseball when I was younger, and I'm sure a lot of you did out there, but I'm guessing that I would top out, like, the hardest I could probably throw a baseball right now is mid-60s.
No, that's down.
My hardest. And then we call people throwing 25 miles per hour faster than that. They're like, it's not that fast. I mean, it is like a lot of people's change-ups are in the low mid-80s. But still, it's just kind of nuts. 2-2. Ooh. If he would have struck him out there, I would have said 2-2, a toodaloo. But maybe someday. I'll do that next time that there's a 2-2 and he strikes out. Oh, ground ball to Horner. Horner picks it up. Another sloppy throw by Horner that Caratini picks up. Nicely done, Caratini. Bryant, Contreras, and Happer up. Let's hope that can happen. Something can happen here. That's the 3-4-5 guys.
Your attention, please.
Oh! Flaherty's out of the game. Here comes Adam Wainwright, though. I don't like seeing Adam Wainwright because I thought he was going to be in the rotation. That makes me a little sad because I'm guessing he has high enough stamina where if he pitches well, they'll keep him in for a large portion of the game. I still haven't understood why this game is having some people that And I could be wrong. Maybe Wainwright isn't in the rotation this year, but I thought he was going to be. Ooh, Bryant gives it a charge right in between the shortstop and third baseman. Bryant's on base. He says, I'm not sure what the actual words that came out of his mouth. But we got something going here with the first pitcher out of the pen gives up a hit. That's a good sign for the Cubs. Wilson Contreras. It said he was 0 for 5 on the series, but I didn't think that was him. I could have sworn he did something. I don't know. I guess maybe he's walked a couple times. That's why I just assumed he was doing better. Oh! And that'll drop. And then we're going to have runners on first and second with nobody out. And Ian Happ is going to be up. And hopefully, like I said, MLB The Show, give it a look. I mean, that's the game that we're watching right now. But also, their channel, I believe, is doing the players playing from each team, having representatives and playing each other. And I think Ian Happ is the representative for the Cubs. So hopefully he does well. Hopefully he's got them skills for the show. We'll see. Strike 2. 0-2 to Ian Happ. You really want to move the runners over here. I mean, even if you put it on the ground to the right side and pull it. Ooh, is it going to drop? Probably not, but it'll advance the runner. Bryant goes to third. It should. It might be close. Closer than I thought it was going to be. Well, he advanced one of the runners, so that's good. That definitely helps. It stinks that the double play is still there with the on first, second, or second. But yeah, you want to elevate the ball far enough where Bryant can get in here. That's kind of the job number one here, is to make strong enough, just even if it's a fly ball, get under the ball, hit it hard enough where Bryant can get home. Bryant has pretty good speed. He's a pretty good base runner. Ooh, this is going to score him. Yep. They're going for 2, which I did not think they were going to do that. That's okay. That works as good as as it's a sacrifice. So it gets an RBI. So that's good. I'm all okay with that. Javier Baez is up with a fly out and a pop out. I'm not sure how different. I'm not sure when a fly out becomes a pop out. I'm not sure what the arc changes. Is fly out's more fly out I assume is more linear, whereas a pop out's probably more parabolic. I'm guessing more of a bell curve type look to it. Ooh, is it going to drop? I think it did, and it does. I think it did. I think it does, and it did. I think it will, and it did. That's good that Baez is making contact now. And it's good that they're hitting Wainwright, because like I said, he's probably has real good stamina as far as a relief pitcher goes. So the way to most likely get him out of the game is to hit him. And Caratini's up now, who I've been praising a bunch. Has a very good eye. Like I said, I'm very interested to look and see what his vision and discipline ratings are in this game, because I would assume they're very good. His at-bats have been very good in that regard. He makes contact. It's deep. Is it deep enough? Yeah, yes, it's deep enough for a double at least. Scores 2 runs. A bases clearing double. Oh, the right fielder just couldn't get to it. So it lands. That fence is just a brick wall with some ivy on it, so it's scary. And I think that's Fowler, too. So Fowler, despite not being on the Cubs anymore, once again helping the Cubs get runs. As he goes, we go. or whatever. All right, yeah. Gonna call Brian Johannesson here after this half inning, as he is going to be our guest. Nico Horner's up. He had a single in the second inning. Well, and Adam Wainwright's out. That's good. Alex Reyes is coming in. I'm a little surprised. Alex Reyes is one of the highly touted prospects for the Cardinals. He might be in the bullpen. He was supposed to be a starter. He maybe had Tommy John surgery last season or before. So that could be a reason why they've considered making him... I'm not sure if he became the closer last year. I'm sorry, I should know more about the Cardinals' bullpen. I know that the Cardinals' bullpen has been kind of fluctuated over the last year or two. Oh, is it gonna... Can he get there? Oh, he almost did. He almost did a little bloop single there. Bloop infield single. All right. That is that. So let's give a call the old... Rajo. I mean, oh great, it's raining here.
Leading off for the Cardinals, the catcher, Matt Leader.
Hello.
Brian Johannesson, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. Welcome to the show, the Cubs fantasy stream.
0-2 is the count.
Yeah, bud. We're doing it. Hendrick's on the mound. Boy's looking good tonight.
He's looking fantastic. He's 70. I don't want to jinx it, but he's looking like he could throw a Maddox tonight.
He could, a little Mad Town.
Yeah. I mean it'd be hard to get under the 100 pitches, but he's looking like he can do it. He's got the lead.
He's got the lead. I don't know about, it's 70. What is he, 71 right now?
70. Well, there's a slight delay. He did just strike out the first batter of the sixth, so yes, he would have to average about 10 pitches an inning to have it be under 100 pitches. But that's possible when you pitch to as weak as contact as he does. Because remember last year, that complete game he had, he only threw 81 pitches. So there were like a couple of innings were like 7 or 8 pitch innings. So who knows? Yadier Molina's up right now.
Oh yeah, Yachty. He's in my experience playing MLB The Show, he's the one who ruins all the no-hitters and the perfect games against the Cardinals. It's just like his clutch rating is like 99.
Oh, Yadier Molina. I mean, speak of the devil. There he just knocked a single, which is one of the first. Wow, his speed is 0, though.
Yeah, he's got a 0 speed.
So do you have the show?
I have last year's show. I don't have this one yet. I've been avoiding video games in quarantine because I'd like to still do things.
Yeah, that's fair.
As soon as I start.
That's the main reason I haven't attempted to get a Switch, is because I'm afraid if I get like Animal Crossing and like or any of the new PS4 games that like look really fun. Like, have you seen that Mountain Blade Bannerlord? Ooh, this could be 2. Gets 1.
No, I haven't.
So it's
I like you ruining the play for
I'm
me
sorry. See, I've looked how to try and I need to figure out a way to minimize the lag. But the only thing I've looked up so far, I have the things clicked to supposedly minimize it.
Nope.
That's okay. So I'll be a little quiet about what's actually happening. Then there are 2 outs. Edmund is up. That shouldn't be too much of a giveaway thus far. But it's called Mountain Blade Bannerlord, or Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, okay? And they've been making the game for like 10 years, and it's like a medieval game. It's like strategy, but also combat. So like you kind of like will control troops, but also you get to fight with your troops, and you can like you can like try and you start from the bottom, so you can try and become like a soldier, or you can be like a silk merchant, or you could like be a blacksmith and just be a blacksmith and like raise a family. Like if that's what you want to do, like it's real.
That's like. So I've been trying to find a free way for me to just play The Sims for like one night.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can actually like live a normal life via The Sims. Maybe my thing I need to do is just become a blacksmith and Mountain Blade 2 randomly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. Apparently, it's kind of janky right now because it's they're like putting patches on it like every day. But that's also good that they're like addressing issues every day where they're like, yeah, well, it's a big game. Yeah,
this would be a very bad time to have a game have an issue and not get resolved quickly.
Yes.
Because there's millions of people who have nothing to do but play that game.
Yes, but and at the same time, now is the time for like to release a game that's been anticipated or been taking a while, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I said, I'm looking at a few games, but also I didn't realize. Do you have Steam? Are you familiar with Steam?
I do have Steam. I downloaded Steam specifically to find The Sims.
Okay.
And I found it, but then I just couldn't pay for it.
Yeah. But did you know that you can download a game on Steam, and there's like a 2-hour return policy for games, where you can play a game for up to 2 hours, and if you don't like it within 2 hours, you can get a refund and return it.
Well, that's perfect, because that's like, I want to play The Sims for 2 hours, and
Yeah.
I want to play like Roller Coaster Tycoon for 2 hours. You know?
Yes. Wait, do they have Roller Coaster Tycoon?
City for 2 hours. They do. Then they have all the expansion packs. And I was like, oh, I wonder if you can do 2 hours per expansion pack. Although,
I don't know.
If I remember that game, it takes like 2 hours to like build your first roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, to get to like the Adventureland level.
Zoo Tycoon. That's next.
Which one? Which tycoon?
Yeah.
What tycoon?
Did you ever play Zoo Tycoon? Did you ever play?
No. They're
I would
really.
just build like the most lavish, habitats for my animals and just go broke immediately because I would blow all my money and be like, zoos are stupid. I'm gonna have this animal live like a pig.
Yeah, that's pretty nice of you. Yeah.
I'm the guy, like, there's two kinds of gamers. There's, like, the gamer who, like, Red Dead Redemption 2, who's who go around, like, lassoing, like, innocent people and dragging them around and thinking it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And just, like, killing everybody.
Yeah,
And then there's the kind of gamer who, like, wants to be a good dude.
Yeah. That's what I am.
I'm the one who always wants to be a good dude.
I wish in real life I was as good as a person as I am in video games. Like...
Oh, for sure.
And I don't know if you ever played the newer Star Wars first-person shooters, or first- and third-person shooters, the Battlefront games, but, like, people get real, like, not even greedy, but there's a lot of cowardice, and where I'm just like, we have to go do this thing, like, I'm always like, the objective is to do this, like, you're gonna respawn, go try and do this thing, whereas people will hide a lot, and I don't understand it. I don't understand cowardice when you're literally going to be brought back to life in 5 seconds, somewhere else. I don't know, but yeah, I also agree with Red Dead where I don't like when you actually because sometimes you like the controls are janky in that where I'll like try to like help someone or talk to somebody and you accidentally like pick them up or something.
Yeah. You just like accidentally just murder somebody in the middle.
Yes. Or just start punching somebody. There is some real funny, where one of the first interactions I had was with the guy who was like, can you help me fix my watch? And then like his horse kicks him in his head and he dies. And I thought it was unfair that they took points away from, because I looted him, but I was like, that's not like, it's just a guy in the middle of nowhere. I didn't kill him.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that and,
Yeah, his horse kicked him.
Yeah, the horse is the one who killed him. I was trying to help him. Or like my favorite thing in is it gonna drop? Yes, it does drop. Ooh, but they're gonna get him out second, probably. No, maybe not. Runners on second and third now, with 2 outs. My favorite was when there's the old with the Klansman in the second one in Red Dead. You know when they're like trying to put up the cross?
Yeah, and you like kill him all.
Yeah, well, no. What I did once was like because there's 2 guys putting it up, and one guy's like there, and I got a shotgun and shot the guy that was telling him to do it, and then I shot one of them, and then since there's 2 guys trying to lift up this giant big wooden cross, the cross fell and crushed the other one, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a game, is a fucking cross falling down on top of a Klansman and crushing him to death. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, Ian Happ got hit.
Nice boy. Yeah, I'm the kind of guy, like, in MLB The Show, like, I'd be, like, keeping an eye on how the AA players are doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy's doing pretty well. I'm going to promote him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's never going to fucking play. And, like, let's be real, I'm not going to play more than 1 season.
You don't?
You know, like, 1 season is plenty of baseball for me.
I love having it go for a long time, because I like to find a player that's like good enough to like bring up, especially for like pitchers, whereas like I want to see if I can get this 20-year-old like 300 wins. I want to see if I can get this guy to pitch for like 17 seasons. Oh, Hayward hits it. Can he run it out? No. Into the 7th we go. Cubs are up 4-0. But yes, no, I hear you there, and it's interesting to see. I'm still trying to figure out if you leave them in the minors, if they gain better stats regardless. I don't know if they do. I don't know. It's weird. I'm still trying to figure out how the game works, how the engine rewards people and stuff. Ooh, Roxy's telling me, do you have an
long-term, like, player development stuff?
Yeah.
Do I have what?
Do you have an Xbox lot or a PS4?
No, I'm a PS4.
Okay, me too. But someone on the stream just said you can get an Xbox Live Game Pass for PC. Oh, for PC. It's $1 for 3 months. Can play like 60 different games. In case you're interested. Roxy thought we'd like to know that. So, yeah.
Do they have The Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon?
I would guess. I'd say Sims is one of the most like universal games that's on every possible thing that they could fit it onto. Yeah.
I mean, like, who wants to live real life? You can live in simulated.
Here's the thing. I never really played The Sims, but I liked games like Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon, and but I found those The Sims was too, even though it's absurd, like everyone's real looking, and it's like a real regular house with a regular pool and stuff like that. Whereas like Animal Crossing and stuff is like your neighbor's a bunny, and you can plant pizza trees. Like, I don't know, you can't really do that part, but just I like the silliness of what Nintendo does. Yeah. Anyway, hey, how's your new album, Holster Your Silver?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How's yeah? It's I haven't. I mean, I've heard songs from it, but I haven't like listened to it all the way through. Is it an album that you consider like? Because and I'm sure you have a lot to say about this, but in general, and I don't know if musicians have changed too, but I used to feel like people used to make an album and try and like have everything lead into everything else and be meant to be played as one whole. But now with streaming and people's attention spans, it's more about the singles, and I feel like people don't put as much attention to the order of track listings and such. But I feel like you probably did.
Yeah, I definitely did. I I don't know how else to do it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could just like casually just put some songs together and call it an album. This album is like definitely thought of as a whole, and it took a long time to get there. We recorded like 18 songs for it, and only 9 made it on. So it was like a really long process of like whittling down and making sure that the songs made sense together and sounded right together.
But that's almost my point though too.
An album.
Is that if you make that many songs, the fact that you're having to make decisions like that, in and of itself, is saying like, what are the best songs? Does it hurt? Are there songs that, do you crowdsource at all where like where you have friends or family or just other musicians that you like listen and say, was it hard decisions to leave certain ones off and include certain ones?
At first it is. Like, Ryan Joseph Ames produced this album, like in the last one. We talked a lot about, well, we didn't talk that much about it, but like it was more like the more we recorded, the more it started to make sense and be like, okay, this is something, and he would be like, all right, this song goes with those other 3 that we recorded, and, you know, like that kind of thing. And then, you know, I don't know, I feel like I'm more frequently like putting in songs I don't like to fill out an album rather than cutting away songs I do like.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Getting it down to 9 was like, you know, we ended up cutting one song that I really liked for it. But that song is still available only on the digital download card in the vinyl. It comes with an extra song.
That's cool. So it's like a B-side bonus.
Able to sneak it in there.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, and it's like, it's fine. It's
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. So you saw it though. A run is scored for the Cardinals. No, I mean he had already hit 100 pitches, so he was like, well, I can't get a Maddox, I might as well give up a run too. But yeah, so so you're saying that that you still got to add one as kind of a B-side, if you will, type thing.
Throw it in there.
That's good.
It also kind of made me realize like how uncertain I was about the rest of it. How it was kind of, you know, the first few sessions I was just kind of recording songs that I had, and they didn't really necessarily go together, and I didn't really know what I was doing with them. And so like once the vibe started coming together, it's pretty easy to whittle it down and say, all right, we're not going to do these 4 or 5 songs they just did.
Ooh, Baez with a throw deep. Oh, and he got him. Nicely done by Javier Baez to end the top of the 7th. So, yes, to stay with what you're saying, sort of, I find another thing interesting. Are there ever songs, because I feel like I've heard this before, that do you get mad that like songs that are your least favorites are often people, or does this happen even, whereas songs that you don't like that very much are like, or that don't take you very long to write are sometimes the favorites of other people? Because I had a friend once where I told him that this one song that he had was one of my favorite songs he's ever written, one of my favorite songs ever, and he was almost frustrated because he said that he wrote it in 10 minutes and it was not even one of his favorite songs, and that it's just, but not, I shouldn't say frustrated, but he was just surprised because he was like, man, I wrote that song in 10 minutes and blah, 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 and I was like, well, it's my favorite song on the album. I don't know. But sometimes, would you say just simplicity? Like sometimes there's a reason why a song like that writes itself, you know, or not writes itself, but that if it comes out that quickly, maybe that's for a reason. Sorry, don't mean to talk over you. Sorry.
No. It's I think that almost all the songs on the album were written in like 15 minutes, and that's because those are like the best ones. I think when you go back to a song, you frequently like lose some of the feeling, and you start thinking about it more technically, and you start thinking about it more as like a product, or as,
you lose the authenticity. of the feeling. Yeah.
So like frequently, what I'll do, I'll write a guitar part and just bum around with it for a while, and then all of a sudden just write all the words down. Like it's like it just clicks, and it's like, oh, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, no, and I like what like you're saying, yeah, for sure. Like one of my songs, Two Hot Dogs and Coke, like I don't dislike that song, but it was like not written to be a very serious song, and it wasn't written to be like certainly not to be like a signature song.
I love that song. It's a good song. Yeah.
And it's I like the song too, but it's like I just recently stopped playing it at shows because I think since the day I wrote it up until about January, I had played it at every single show I ever played.
Yeah.
So it was like
I hear you.
It was time to just kind of, and now I will forget about it, and like I'll be like putting together a set list for something, and I'll be like, oh yeah,
I can do that. Yeah, no, I hear, I get that. As a comedian, I feel similarly. Where, don't get me wrong, you can always make the joke better, and it can always get better. And there's things that like I like having done so many times that I don't even have to think about it, and I can do it. But at the same time, there's always more of a rush the first handful of times you do it, because it's like discovering it, and there's the authenticity of saying like what you like, getting your feelings out loud and getting them out and getting the idea out of how you feel about something. But then once and that's why I try to make it a little, I don't like to say verbatim jokes. There are a lot of people who keep, and this is not a bad thing, but there are people that say things verbatim, and it's just like, and I appreciate their commitment to it, because I'm just like, wow, they seem like they're really into what they're saying, but they're saying the exact same thing, almost like an actor on stage, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, gosh, how are you able to pretend like you feel like that 10 years after you came up with the idea? But yeah, or do you think, okay, would you, because you were talking about not playing, you played that song so many times, if people started like getting mad and being like asking you consistently why you wouldn't play it or didn't play it, would you start playing it more again?
I'll always play it if somebody asks me.
Okay.
It's not like I'm like, no, I don't play that song anymore.
Yeah, I have a weird when bands do that. I feel weird about it, because like especially because it's like, well, fucking, if you don't want to play it, then you shouldn't have put it on your album. Like you shouldn't have written it like I heard not, and I understand why. I understand it gets tiring, but I heard like Not a Surf hasn't played Popular in a very, very, very long time. Or I heard that they say they will if someone from the crowd knows the words. They'll be like, if someone knows the lyrics, they can come sing it. But they're like, but we're not fucking singing it. But yeah, I always find that interesting especially when it's like this, like a resentment towards the reason people come see some people. Where the only reason people know certain bands are to be like, oh, I hope they'll play this. I really like that one song. And then a band plays for an hour and a half of all their B-sides or new new stuff. At least hair bands and stuff know that no one wants to hear their new things. Like the only band that was popular like 20 some years ago that people like were liking, that were consistently putting good, like Rush was still making good music. I feel like even like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Paul, I mean, I've seen Paul McCartney a couple times, and his newer songs are fine because he's Paul McCartney. But it's funny because whoever he's dating or married to now, he played the song that's dedicated to her, and it's like, okay. And then 2 songs later, he plays, literally within 2 songs, he plays Maybe I'm Amazed, and I was like, man. Like, if there's something that would make me feel shitty as a partner is having to, within 10 minutes, hear the song that was written for me that's really mediocre, and then hear one of the most popular love songs of the last 50 years played about someone else, of someone's first love. Like, I was like, spread it out a little more, Paul. Come on, man. Like, jeez.
Well, I think the problem with those guys, and there's very few exceptions, is that they just like lose touch with reality, and they can't write about reality anymore.
Yeah.
Just like his new album has a song where he's like, I'm hitchhiking all day long.
And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Well, and even like this like character, and it's like the whole song is just like, I'm hitchhiking and I'm lonely, and it's like, but why? Like, this is nonsense, and it's like, he's probably just like, oh, I'm gonna write a Western song about it.
Yeah, that's
and like his like all the old stuff. He's talking about how he had to like get his butler's pancake recipe, or waffle recipe from him, so he could connect with his kids again.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't want to read this.
Is that real? Is that for real?
Oh my god, real? That's in his book. It's like, oh my god, no wonder your record's stuck now.
Yeah, I read there was a Ben Stein book that was all about money, essentially, but it was my dad's book. But you're familiar with Ben Stein from Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Win Ben Stein's Money.
Yes.
But he had a thing talking about, I think one of the chapter headings was like, money can't buy happiness, but it can lease happiness with an option after, or something like that. But he was talking about how someone was talking to Bob Dylan, like after Bob Dylan became sort of popular, where someone was like, you don't seem as angry anymore, and you don't really have that that pessimism to a lot of your stuff that you had. And he was just like, well, it's hard to be mad when you're rich. Like he's like, when you're doing fine, it's harder to be mad about things when all your needs are taken care of and you can do anything you want. It's harder to have this like pessimism or being upset about the world when you're doing great.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
People talk about how like, oh, drugs make musicians better because when musicians get sober, they start writing shitty music, and it's like, no, that's not it. They got sober, they're not blowing all their money on drugs, and they don't have any problems.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah. I'll say that, or also I will say that because I was literally thinking about that recently too, where I was like, is it one of those things also when you're drunk or stoned or just on stuff where like you're less likely to second guess yourself as you are, or overthink things like you do when you're sober? So a lot of times you'll like be like, it's usually there, but I'm more likely when I'm drunk to like start humming a melody out of nowhere that I like and like record it. You know?
sure. Yeah.
It might not necessarily be good, but I'll think it's really good when I'm doing it.
And you listen to like the 70s country and like some of the shit that people put out, and you're like, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's like made it past a producer. I mean, it's great, but it's just like way more produced by Will Jennings. It's like a nonsensical song. It's just like there's no real structure to it. It sounds like he's just saying whatever came to his mind.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's high. Or there's like a Johnny Cash song that you should check out if you haven't heard it, called Bad News.
Okay.
And he's clearly just high out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And just like, bad news, and then just laughing hysterically.
That's fantastic.
And it's really good, but you're like, oh man, take care of yourself, John.
Yeah. And similarly with 80s music, and I'd say 80s media and music and films in general, was just everyone being like, sure, let's try it. Like everyone was just on cocaine, and everything was new. Like that's why I love watching music videos, was that like music videos didn't exist, so everything that was there, we look back on music videos being like, well, what's that? Like that's silly, but it's like, no, at the time they hadn't done that. Like that wasn't a thing that existed, so it looks stupid to us, but at the time it was an ingenious. Like I remember the first time watching the Cars video for You Might Think. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you know how there's like, he's real little and there's the fly and stuff? I remember being 4 years old, and that was the first time that I have a memory of, at least, where I remember being like confused about the scale of things, where I was like, how is that person smaller than a fly? Like I was like, what is going on? How is that person smaller than a fly? And why is he in that bathtub with that lady? Like, I don't know.
But it was also, before figured out how to use those things as marketing tools. And so they were like, well, what do you want the video to be?
Yeah.
The cars, you know, like what do you want it to be? And then they got to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
And then later on, it would be like, okay, you're gonna be in a warehouse and you're gonna be looking to new water.
That's You ever heard when they talked to Frank Zappa about how he almost liked the way the studio executives were back in the day, because he was like he said that they still only cared about money, but they were quicker to admit that they had no idea. And so they would let creative people be creative, because they would always be like, who knows? And then there was like in the late 70s and 80s and stuff, he said executives started like hiring like the young, what they perceived to be hip executives come in and be like, this is what's hip and this is what's going to sell, and trying to get people. And he was like, he said that he much preferred the older, you know, he's like, I liked the old fat business guys that were smoking cigars that were just like, I don't know what's going to sell. Just let them do what they do. And if we make money, we make money. He like, I don't know. I always found that very interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, as soon as they started bringing all the young people into it to prove how cool they were.
Yeah, and they want to, and also they want to be, and you know, producers that want to get their names in the credits of things, or that sort of thing, or get listed on the, or I don't know. Like,
well, and like it's also weird when you have to prove how cool you are by how much money you make.
Yes.
Because those are like contradicting ideas.
Yeah. Well, Brian, thank you for joining us. We can find you on, where's the place where you can make the most amount of money? Speaking of money, Wilson Contreras just hit a home run. His 6th home run of the year. Yes, a good. I mean, he has probably 4 home runs in the last 5 or 6 games, so he's really tearing into it lately. Where would be the best place to get your music, where you would get the most money?
Sure, yeah, you buy it.
Center fielder.
Download the album, Bandcamp, on my website.
Okay, Bandcamp. Yeah.
The best way to do it. And this goes for any musician that you're looking to support too. So that's number one.
Okay.
Buy something.
So yeah, so either directly on most musicians' website or on Bandcamp. For most musicians is the way to go.
Right.
Number
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2 would be Spotify.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Spotify specifically over Apple Music.
Really?
For one small reason. On Apple Music, they do not show you how many plays each song has got. On Spotify, they do.
Like you can't even know how much you've been played?
Number 50.
I know, but
okay.
The general public doesn't.
Okay.
And it's a weird thing where the more plays that your songs have, and the way it looks when somebody looks you up, like somebody's booking a show or deciding how much they want to pay, it actually does that. And so Spotify is good for that. Also, Spotify is great because their algorithm is that the more plays you get, the more likely you are to get onto one of the playlists.
Yeah.
So that's good too.
Yeah,
But
so go
Apple
stream.
Music and Spotify pay the same. So.
Okay. Well, go stream Brian Johannesson on Spotify, and if you like it, buy his album from his website or from Bandcamp, or just buy it straight up and just trust that I have good taste in music and that he's a good musician. But also, yeah, stream him too. Did you, before I let you go, did you hear about when that one band, God, what was their name? Where they gamed the system with Spotify, where they made an album that was just all silent, essentially. And what they did was they had everybody, who was it? Volspec. And they basically had all their friends, what was it, they just had to play repeat while they were while they went to sleep?
Yeah.
And it ended up like funding their tour. Didn't they make like tens of thousands of dollars on it or something?
They made 10 grand.
Okay.
They made a new album.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, getting 10 grand off of
silence.
The baseline royalty is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my release week. My release month was the best month I've ever had streaming by far, and I got a check for $40.
Man, that's Yeah, I feel for you,
with,
man.
like, iTunes sales. That's not even just streaming. That's
Yeah.
people buying shit on iTunes. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's cool.
But yeah. Well,
No,
thank you for staying with us here, and we'll talk to you again sometime. And the Cubs are in the top of the ninth. They have the lead, so hopefully they'll finish it out here.
I think that I have faith. I'm gonna watch it.
All right, yeah, watch it. Watch it on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. All right, 5-1, 1 out. Bye, Brian Johannesson. Thank you for joining us.
Right.
Take care. See ya. Thanks for being here. Bye. That was Brian Johannesson. Hopefully you could hear him okay. I should have tried to see. I think we had the blue snowball here. I put the phone fairly directly to it. Oh! 2-2's the count now. I don't even know who's pitching. But here we go, the 2-2 count. Oh, it's Rowan Wick. I like Rowan Wick a lot. He's who I think should be the closer. If Craig Kimbrell starts the season by giving up a bunch of home runs again and has the ERA be like 6 or whatever. 1 out, 2 out. That's the game. Rowan Wick ends it for him. Ends it for the Cardinals. Ends it for the Cubs in a good way. Ends it for the Cardinals also in a good way because I like when the Cardinals lose. That's the game. The Cubs look pretty sharp today. Kyle Hendricks threw about 7 innings. I'm interested to see who the player of the game is going to be here. Maybe Schwarber? I'm trying to think who hit the go-ahead. I mean, Schwarber hit the go-ahead first RBI of the game. But Contreras did have a home run. We'll see here. But yeah, Hendricks gets the win. Flaherty gets the loss. Kyle Hendricks is the player of the game. I'd say rightfully so, as he pitched 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a singular run. You pitch 7 innings giving up 1 run, you're gonna probably win most games. Jack Flaherty, 4 innings pitched, also only 1 earned run, but only over 4 innings, so that's not great, but I'm okay with that. So yeah, notable players, Lane Thomas, he did well a couple days ago for the Cardinals, pretty sure it was the player of the game. O'Neill, Molina, Carpenter, but for the people that matter, I'll say their full names. Wilson Contreras was 3 for 4 with a home run, a double, an RBI, and a run. That's how good Hendricks pitched, is that Wilson wasn't the player of the game with some pretty good numbers himself. Victor Caratini's 1 for 2 with a double, 2 RBI, and a run. Chris Bryant, 2 for 5 with a run. Kyle Schwarber, 3 for 5 with an RBI. So with that win, the Cubs at minimum will be still sharing first place in the Central with Cincinnati. They could have taken the sole spot depending how Cincinnati plays. I'm not sure if they won or lost. We'll look here in a sec and see. So 11-5. Kyle Hendricks goes to 2-0. So, the Cubs are now a half a game up on the Reds in the Central. The Cardinals 3 games back. The Pirates 6. And the Brewers 7.5 games back. I would have thought they'd be doing better, but I'm okay with that. I'm Spencer Laux. Thank you guys for joining us once again. This was fun. I'll be doing this, I think. Hold on. Let's see if there's a game tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow is an off day. What am I gonna do tomorrow? But so I guess I'll see you again on Tuesday when we go to Camden Yards and play the Baltimore Orioles, who have the exact opposite record, 5-11. It looks like they're going to face Alex Cobb, who's a pretty good pitcher, actually, I believe. But Camden Yard is known for being a place where people like to hit home runs and just offense in general. And also because Baltimore is often bad, so you throw in the bad team with also a place that's good for offensive players, then might have something good here. But anyway, I'm Spencer Laux. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I forgot Abraham Lincoln. Whoops. Abraham Lincoln. Bye. Say bye, Abraham Lincoln. Bye, Abraham Lincoln. Fantastic. Have a good night, everybody.